What's up, world? Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm your host, Micah. We're here to talk about versus 6. Give you the results, tell you how my predictions did. There's 10 fights on the card. It was featured with the bantamweight title fight. We'll get to the results. First fight was Weil Watson versus Joseph Sandoval. We had predicted a third round TKO from Joseph Sandoval. That was not to be. First fight wrong for us. Weil Watson used some quick head kicks, some great striking. Definitely just took Sandoval out of his element, put him down. The ref stopped him, saved him. Probably could have taken some more damage, but saved himself for another day. Watson with a solid first round stoppage victory. Second fight was Josh Neer versus Keith Wisniewski. We had predicted a second round knockout for Josh Neer. Didn't go completely that way. Close enough. Second round. By the end of it, the doctor stopped it. Great use of elbows. The dentist looked like a surgeon cutting up Wisniewski. Bloody fight. Both men were bleeding. Best use of standing elbows by both men that I've ever seen in an MMA fight. It was a bloodbath, a thing of beauty. I thought it should have been fight of the night. Next fight was Shane Roller versus TJ Grant. Thought split decision for TJ Grant was our prediction. Figured it would go all the way. In the third round, TJ Grant got an armbar, and Shane Roller let out a ow, a groan, some sort of noise. The ref stopped it, sensing the fighter was in trouble. So it was a verbal tap out. Roller saying he didn't tap. Grant saying, we're told if anything like that comes up, if you yell, you're tapped. We've seen several situations like that recently in mixed martial arts. Here's another one, slightly controversial, but a submission victory for TJ Grant. So right on the prediction. Next fight was the Hulk Mike Easton versus Byron Bloodworth. Bloodworth was taking the fight on 5 days' notice, so we gave Mike Easton unanimous decision pick. And he did even better than that. Looked ferocious with his striking game, huge knees. TKO stoppage in the second round, just overwhelmed Bloodworth. Great showing debut for Easton. Next fight was Michael Johnson. We all know him from The Ultimate Fighter, taking on Paul Sass, who is a submission specialist. 10 of his 11 victories by submission. Set a world record for most consecutive victories by triangle. What happens? The fight starts off standing. It gets towards the ground. Johnson actually let it get towards the ground, and instead of his unanimous decision, he never made it out of the first round. Sass locked in a heel hook, wrote it for all it was worth. Possibly could have injured Johnson. He looked like he was pretty hurting after the fight. That's a wrong pick on our part. Next fight, which was the last fight of the prelims, Eve Edwards took on Rafaela Oliveira. We thought it'd be a third round TKO for Edwards, sensing he had a huge advantage in the striking department, and he did. It was even more overwhelming than I thought, as he had a TKO stoppage in the first round. Totally overwhelming. A dynamic striking show put on by Eve Edwards, and also congratulations to him for 10 years now in mixed martial arts with the UFC. And on a happy birthday to him. This takes us to the main card, where Matt Wyman and Matt Danzig were in a rematch from a controversial stoppage, where Wyman got a submission victory, but Danzig clearly wasn't out. In the rematch, we thought it would go all the way to the decision. I thought it'd be a split decision for Wyman. Well, it was a great contest. They slugged back and forth. More standing elbows. Wyman utilized, Danzig utilizing combinations in his boxing. I thought it would have went to a split decision by the time it was over, but I did think Wyman won it. The judges were with me a little more than I thought they would be, and they gave him a unanimous decision victory. They also, Dana White, the UFC, awarded those two men fight of the night for their efforts. It was a great battle. Next bout was Anthony Johnson versus Charlie Brennerman. We thought it'd be a unanimous decision for Johnson. I figured Brennerman would try to make it a wrestling match, and that Johnson would just overpower, use his strength. He did that even more impressively, landed a giant head kick, had Brennerman on the run. Brennerman looked scared on this fight, trying to take it to the ground like it was the fight for survival. Johnson overwhelmed him, overpowered him, landed a head kick that put Brennerman down. The ref jumped in and stopped it. Some people felt it was early. I felt it was just. Brennerman looked a little on wobbly legs when it was happening anyway. Good knockout. Knockout of the night, in fact, for Anthony Rumble Johnson. This takes us to the co-main event of the night. Pat Barry versus Stefan Struve. David versus Goliath. We went with David. We thought he would have a second round knockout. We thought he would connect with the power. The fight started off in the first round. Beautiful kickboxing match like we hoped for, keeping it standing. We all know Barry had the disadvantage if it went to the ground. Started to batter the front leg of Struve, making it purple with leg kicks. Towards the second round, started to connect, get inside, landed a few on the chin. Got too close at one point. Struve went for the clinch, tried for a guillotine, and went to the ground. Barry successfully got out of the guillotine, but Struve is very slick on the ground, threw his leg over. Before Barry knew it, probably, he was from the guillotine to trying to fight off a triangle, tried to slam his way out of the triangle. That was not to be, and a submission of the night victory for Stefan Struve. Love Pat Barry, fights on a lot of heart. But Stefan Struve outdid him that night. Great fight, though. Love both those fighters. This takes us to the main event of the night. Dominick Cruz defending his bantamweight title against Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. We had picked a unanimous decision victory for Dominick Cruz. That's just how he went. He's still a puzzle that's very hard to figure out. His movement, his motion, his speed. His wrestling was more superb. He ended up on top of all the takedowns. I don't per se like his fighting style so much, but I have earned more respect for him in this fight as he fought through most of it with a broken hand, gutty performance, was still achieving the advantageous positions in the grappling. Definitely won the grappling match. The striking was very close. Probably landed more kicks and punches. Definitely won the fight. A great knee in the fifth round, bruised up Mighty Mouth. Both guys really looked still energized, still could have gone, but Dominick Cruz still definitely the bantamweight champion with that unanimous decision victory. So on the night, that was 7 right for us and 3 wrong. I'm at 70%. Thanks everybody for watching. Tune into the Bellator results show too. We'll be back with our 136 preview show this week. Till then, thanks for watching. This is Cage Minds.